This is Globanitter, my name is Caroline, welcome back to my channel. And if you watched the video last week, you know that I said 2026 started really well. I went to one of my favorite yarn store, the Unrolled Stitch near Boston. And this week I found myself having a couple of days off in Seoul. It doesn't happen often, so I went to the city. I discovered a new concept, a whole building dedicated to yarn and knitting. The place is called Sevi Haus, so I will take you there. And at the end, I will talk to you about what I'm currently knitting with an update on the skiolator sweater and how the stitch count was totally my own fault. So I decided to take a coach from the airport because it's way more comfortable and it takes 77 minutes and then it takes about 10 minutes walking to get to the yarn shop. And it was really a big discovery for me because the area was so nice, young, vibrant, a very trendy part of Seoul apparently. And the store is in one entire building over 7 floors, and the first 3 floors are dedicated to yarn and the last 4 floors are dedicated to knitting. So the way things work is you pick a card for the pattern you like. It tells you what yarn to buy, you pick up the color and then you go and buy it. And the cashier is on the first floor, which is the ground floor for us in Europe. And if you're a member, apparently you get the pattern for free. The second floor is dedicated to yarn, accessories and tools. I really liked that some knitting needles were out with some yarn, so you can test them before you buy. They have many knitted patterns, so you can pick what you want to knit. And they also have all sorts of wool. It's their own brand, and so many colors, so many different quality of yarn. I think if you want to knit something, you will find whatever you need to knit it. They sell mainly their own brand, Sevi. The third floor is a pop-up gallery and design lab. And finally we get to the knitting lounge space, and first we went to the 4th floor where the reception is, and you can buy packages to stay knitting for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours or more. And the package includes soft drinks, tea, coffee, snacks. You can buy extra wine or beer if you want. And there's a knitting space there, or you can go to the 5th floor, which is a private zone. They have a few books that you can borrow to read there. And the decoration is really nice and cozy. And the 5th floor was actually my favorite knitting space. You can choose between armchairs, a big table, or a personal pod. On the 6th floor there's another knitting space, and from there you can access the rooftop, which was closed because it's winter. So what I really love about this place is that it's more of an experience. You can come here just to knit, and if you buy something, they give you a discount, so you can buy a package for 1 hour, 2 hours or more. And in the price, there's some snacks, tea, coffee included. If you want, you can pay extra and have wine or beer. And you can compare it to Banyul Story, but Banyul Story, you just need to buy a drink or a snack, and you can stay as long as you want. So if you come in the weekend, it gets really busy and it can get really hard to find a table to sit and knit. But here, because there's a time limit, it means that more people can actually come and enjoy the place. Also, it feels more intimate, more cozy. And I went there midweek. It was very quiet, but I think if you go during the weekend, it might be busier because there's a line, a little bit like Disneyland. There's a place before the shop for a line, so I'm not sure. I don't think I want to go there in the weekend because I'm scared of crowds, but I would totally go back because the area, fantastic area. It's close to university, it's young, trendy, lots of restaurants, bars. They have a lot of places with wine and ice cream, which I find funny, but it seems to work. Yeah, so I would definitely go there, buy a couple of hours of knitting, and enjoy a nice evening out in the area. And also, for me, coming from the airport, it's such an easy access. I take a coach. It's very comfortable. You get 2 seats, 2 wide seats, an aisle and a wide seat. And I think it's the best way because you're seated the whole time. You can have a nap, listen to a podcast. You can even knit on the way there. And then you walk 600 meters, I think, to the yarn store. So it's very easy to get there for me, coming from the airport. So I didn't buy any yarn, but I bought a lot of accessories, some stitch markers, this one, and these ones, and some bits and pieces. I love this. It's like you can make earrings, little hearts with different colors. And this, they were using this on bags to decorate. And this to attach, you can make earrings. And also a couple of labels. My husband wanted a label for one of the sweaters I made him, so I bought this. And then I got a discount. So all in all, it was good. So I want to update you on the progress I made on the Globanitter sweater. Last week I told you I couldn't get the stitch count right, and I emailed the designer, and then in true Caroline fashion, I decided to frog everything and start again, and then I got a reply, and it turns out that I didn't read the pattern correctly, and I could have only frogged 1 row, but no, I frogged everything and started again, and I've been enjoying knitting it really much. This is what I've done, and when I started doing it again, I was on my way to Toronto and I was augmenting, so I was just a cruise captain. So I had a lot of time to knit, and after my duty, I knitted a little bit during the boarding, and then I had a nap, and then I went to the cockpit, and then at the end of the flight, I was sleepy, but I wanted to knit. So I knitted, and I knitted a lot. I think I almost got to the change of color. And then I was thinking, I've been knitting for a long time. And so I put the moving map display on front of me, and noticed we were holding. And we held for 1 hour, And of course, the weather forecast was not great. The flight had already been delayed 1 hour, and it was just too bad to even start an approach. So we diverted to Chicago, and I knitted the whole time. In Chicago, we had slightly reduced rest. I mean, we still have a lot of rest, and so I knitted more. And then, of course, it was time to come home. I knitted more, and the last few evenings I've been knitting the body. And once you've done the color work, it goes very, very fast because it's 5mm needle, and I'm really enjoying knitting it. We did a fitting on my husband, and it looks perfect. So far, it looks perfect. So I'm really happy about this. And a few days ago, I found this account, and it's this woman. They have like hats and things that are like Sophie hoods, and they put a little crown on top. And I was wondering, wow, it's super nice. It's just such a nice idea to do a Sophie hood with a little bit of sparkly. And so I tried to crochet a little crown like they have. And look, it's not too bad. I think I need to put the base a bit wider. So what I've done, it's five triangles, and you can make also 7 triangles if you wanted to, I guess, to make a bigger crown. And you could just stitch it on top of the Sophie hood, and then you become a queen. So I love this idea, and I don't think they have patterns. I think they sell their designs, but yeah, you can make it yourself. It looks fairly straightforward. And also, a few weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, Stephen West had a promotion on his mailing list recipients, and you could pick a free pattern. So I picked the tiny handkerchiefs, and I am making this with leftover yarn. So I'm using by yarn in Mardi Gras. It's the leftover from my friendship sweater by Nitsizu. I'm using also some leftover from a shawl. It's La Bien-Aimée Mohair, and some lurex I had. So it makes this, and I am making it for my dog Jack, who has panic attacks. And I've noticed he has a thunder vest. It's like a big hug, and when I give him one of my shawls, also he likes it. So I'm making this for him, and I'm probably going to go as long as I have yarn. That's my plan. And last time I had done the swatch already for the very V-neck sweater, and I have more stitches. I think I have 2 extra stitches, so I use 4mm needles. I'm going to use maybe 5mm needle to get the correct amount of stitch. I will do another gauge swatch to be sure. So that's where I'm at. I'm at home. I'm enjoying my time at home with the pets. Billy is here. Say hello, Billy. Meow. No, he's not going to be cooperative today. I think he's in a bad mood this afternoon. Are you in a bad mood, Billy? Huh? Because in the compound, they don't want to see cats outside, but Billy's from the streets. I cannot keep him at home. So he's had restricted freedom hours, outing hours, and he's not happy. But also it gets really cold at night. So in the morning it's still below 10 degrees. I don't know what is the point of going out when it's so cold, Billy. But he likes to be in the sun outside. So that's the news from my side. Also, I had a reading done. I've known this animal communicator for a long time. She's read most of my pets from before I moved to Mexico. And she went to Costa Rica, and she stopped doing animal communication. Her name is Maiku, but she came back to Finland. She's from Finland, and she's doing communication again. So I'm super excited, and I had a reading done for my dog Jack, because of his panic attacks, and for a dog that passed away, Luca, that was a really good friend of Jack. And she was able to communicate with Jack to explain to him what happened. And she was able to communicate with Luca. It was all very moving. And I sent her the pictures of Lola, Lucy and Melina to see what she says about the newer dogs. So I can't wait. I think she's really good, and I will put her Instagram and website if I find it. I don't know if I have her website, but it's all on her Instagram anyway. And I really like her. And see, talking about the devil, here he is. So I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic week, and I hope you knit a lot. And I will see you next Friday. Bisous, bisous. Bye.